Fast forward, Mamma was this Wajimre or Hashin Swams House is Politics Avenue. Political stories are training makers making headlines. And the Jimre DB Akroma, Ewa, Nidibian Broximus, and a did Kanya, message which must subscribe to the channel at the Amami. Yamin Shaw say what me Ionixa. Now, political highways in so jet them yas and Botuakra. Now, ye boy, HAWA KOOMSON as well. A brow copium or a brickman no. Senior. NDC fobi etumi edi omunsa ekeka eye maame no na me no kasa yide hu komo at this point in time na the omo kan nyina de se omo de omo nu omo hu se maame no omo ye ne nyedoa me no kasa eye hanabisa onso etimi ababontin se on feel any regret for the woman se binumu etimi edi omunsa etimi ekeka maame no abra mpogode ahomtie eyi pepper spray na onso odi e defend na ho se de be ya eja yambo no ema engines mukra enti ya this point in time ye bobo ewura eye NDC for aso eye abra omu etinte sukoko onso edi aku eye maami so ye monwram na yenyin nsem nchiremu ye pa me da seso wajimrewa.
So I condemn violence, but please don't ask me to feel sorry for HAWA KOOMSON, because I'll be lying before you and before God. I don't feel sorry one bit.
She deserves it.
Interview her victims.
Go and ask her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh yes, go and ask her. And also, I'm a victim of HAWA KOOMSON. Ask her if I deserve the men that she brought to come and attack me. Yeah. Ask her the people that they shot and killed at Kaswa. And the organizer that died. Go and ask her the guns that she shot and people that did they deserve it. Yeah. If I move away, a parliamentary candidate, what they did to her, did she deserve it? And ask HAWA KOOMSON, the slaps that they gave to me when they were pulling me out of my moving vehicle to continue beating me. Honorable Amate from Teshi, he used to be the MC for Teshi. He came there, called him my Yawaso boy, because he and the wife came. He tried to intervene. They beat him and beat the wife also. You understand? Trying to save me. Ask HAWA KOOMSON, did I deserve it? If I didn't deserve it, but if I think that he thought I deserve it, so she brought the tax to come and attack me. So whatever happened, if I did, she deserves it better.
Thank you.
Some may say probably, I can't say it's part of the hassle or, the hazards of war, but I feel that journalists should be protected at all times. Now, I'm a victim of HAWA KOOMSON. So how will you expect me to say anything if what she visited on me, his own people are visited on her? Sorry, her own people are visited on her. Well, she herself should speak for herself. When she led that, I'm not saying that she led them to my polling center. I also wasted on my elections. You have a petty man. Look at me. Now there's some small way to be. And I was only doing my work as a polling agent. HAWA KOOMSON led them and said, only a mombono and they'll be we are be one. She stood and made them beat me. When the police carried me, we were in a gazebo, so there was this menu. The police had to actually carry me over the wall because they had blocked me. There was a black Land Cruiser. They thought that also I was being taken to the rush to the police. The police asked me, where's your car? Then I pointed. Honorable Amate, the former MC of Teshi, was there. He tried to intervene. They beat him and beat the wife. And when I was placed in my car, they chased us to the car, opened the moving car, started beating me and pulling me out. What saved me from that was a seatbelt. So how will anybody ask a victim of HAWA KOOMSON to sympathize or empathize or say something? When was she visited on me, her own people are visited on her. And I'm saying that because in the East, we are very busy. As I spoke about the turnout, our people are busy going around. We're making sure that people come out to vote. And the result, you see them, so that there will be no anything. So we are very, very busy. We do not really have time for her. Okay, so with her, if she can say something about the victims who died as a result of she initiating violence against her opponents at Kasua. Our own member of parliament, when she was beaten at her, if she can say something, if she can say sorry to some of us that she led thugs to beat. Yes, I was also a former member of parliament, and I was also a former deputy minister of state. She led men to come and beat me. She didn't come herself, she led men to beat me. The guns she shot, the people who got me, the people who died, who wounded. What is anybody saying about that? When it happened in this nation, and we were crying over it, what happened? What did she come out to say?
Nature, there were no parameters or layers of security where you will not even allow anybody to get closer to the ballot boxes if you are not a voter. Such that, you know, I saw somebody even from my constituency as far as Saboba.
You recognize somebody in the shot?
I saw Mr. Muzu here.
They are from Saboba.
Saboba. So you can imagine the whole Ghana is in Ablekuma North. Even the party people who are not voters are even more than the population of Ablekuma North. So you can imagine the security challenges this will bring. So to me, the buck stopped with the IGP, and I'm so disappointed about the behavior of the police in this scenario. Because how did HAWA Yakubu get access to the ballot box area? It should be a no-go zone for a non-voter to begin with. No matter whom you stand, your status in society. I understand they accorded her some respect because, in quote, she's a national figure or stuff like that.
You know, she's a former member of
it's
parliament.
True,
she's there to throw her weight behind her colleague.
When we are dealing with serious national security issue of this nature, nobody should be above the law. Even the president of the defense minister and the interior minister here is unprecedented. To me, it was so unwarranted. I don't know political positions they are holding. What is their independence here? They only came to boost the morale of their party people. What I'm not happy is that where is the IGP in all of this? The IGP should be here. Where is he? You see, look, I have one principle, and I have to disclose here. You know somebody I have a personal relationship with, and I like so much. But on this one, he has gotten it wrong. I praise him on his activities on the Galamsey. But on this very one, he has gotten it wrong.
If you could score him out of 10, what's the score that you're giving him based on what you have seen
I'll give him 4.
4 out of 10.
I tell you honestly, because this thing shouldn't even allow to happen. Look, we have a situation where Ghana will have to contend with an international embarrassment of a woman big kick at the groin because of someone being elected as an MP. Are we looking at our international reputation or not? If these measures were put in place, this woman wouldn't have been able to get there in the first place. The alleged pepper spray they are saying she had, if there were searches, depending on the security parameters they put in place, this thing wouldn't have occurred. And in security, senior, you know, we preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and you are now dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Addo has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother, and I admire him so much. But he made a statement, and I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of HAWA Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit here, should go. If the presence of HAWA Yakubu is not needed, HAWA KOOMSON, sorry, is not needed at that place, on what basis is it there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about Eduji.
Yes.
He's the director of legal affairs of the National
HAWA
Democratic
Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So sometimes
KOOMSON.
we shouldn't, HAWA KOOMSON, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, HAWA Akuffo had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that HAWA, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all, you know,
you are forgiven, Mr. Kutin, you are forgiven.
I understand.
Yes.
You know, I have a soft spot for women, given that our leadership in Africa has been dominated by men. So when you see women trying the leadership space, we do everything possible.
So you must
to
be
support
excited
them.
then with what we're seeing today.
Yes, 2 years and to us. 2 years and to us. One from the MPP, one from the NDC. And to me, may the best candidate win. And in these elections, the way things are going, I'm afraid the ending will not be good. If we should get an overvoting, even one vote, it will invalidate the entire process. And the second aspect I'm afraid of is that we have one election, different verification mechanisms. So if anybody loses these elections and decides to go to court, we will have another sword in our hands. And that's why me initially I've called that the entire constituency should be rerun.
So that we do more than the 19. But Mr. Kutin, you see what has happened even with the 19. Imagine if today it was the entire constituency that was headed to the polls. But thank you for those preliminary thoughts. Let me go to Musa Dankwa on this one. I was going to ask about a specific post you put on X. But before we dive into that, because you have been doing some tracking in the area, what are your thoughts on what you have seen so far? Did you anticipate this level of disturbance in Ablekuma North?
No, I didn't. In fact, last week on one of the programs, I said that I don't think there will be chaos and there will be violence. So I was quite optimistic about the police. I've also taken my words back, unfortunately. I have not seen leadership from the police on this issue. I think the IGP should have been here and not the Interior Minister. Why the Interior Minister is there shows that, I don't know. The IGP should be the face of this issue. I mean, there are his men who are in charge, and there are issues. He should be there, I mean, issuing command and making the guys feel that our boss are behind us. So let's go and enforce the law. Now, probably the police don't know whether they should enforce the law or they should sit back and look at chaos being happening. I think this is just unfortunate. They should enforce the law regardless of who is involved, and they should do so sensibly. And I think, as they mentioned, there has been a failure of layer of security. You should have first layer, second layer, and third layer. Before you get the ballot box, you must have gone through several layers. So if you're coming close to in the perimeter, are you a voter? If you vote there, you're allowed to come through. If not, nobody should be allowed. It doesn't matter who. And they've kind of allowed this to degenerate into a bit of brouhaha, and it's very unfortunate. For
example, what Mr. Kutin is saying, he's even spotted somebody from Saboba. I mean, it's a Friday afternoon or morning. They have found their way in the Ablekuma North constituency.
There are less than 800 people voting in that constituency. But those who are around the polling station, probably outnumber the people who are supposed to vote.
They are.
All right, Mr. Dankwa, thank you for your thoughts on that. Mohammed Nazir also in the studio with us. I'll also pick your preliminary thoughts. Do you also have to take your words back? Were you also full of praise for our security personnel and now you've been put to shame?
Well, not entirely so. I want to believe that my fellow panelists who have security background are looking at this election from the security point of view. As a politician, I'm also looking at it from a political point of view. First of all, to disagree with with my colleague here as to why Omane Boama insists that the military may not partake in this exercise. I want to believe from the political point of view, I mean, consistently, political parties have raised issues with the presence of military men at polling station or voting centers. It's sought to deter people who have some reservations, and the presence of military always scares other people. So I think that's one of the reasons why we are doing as much as we can to, exclude the military in our, voting and political activities such that it could be free and people will feel free to partake in the exercise. Also, we cannot quickly run to a conclusion if we want to be to make a fair judgment of what is going on. Out of 19 polling stations, the voting started as early as 7 o'clock this morning. This is one incident that has happened at one polling station. And to round it up and sort of blame the police entirely.
Well, I beg your pardon, Mohammed, there have been some different instances. We started off this morning, we saw there was a journalist who was manhandled, two journalists manhandled by policemen. It's on the screen now. If you're watching us, of course, you have noted that as well. We've seen that there was in, I believe, Prez B4 in the Ablekuma North constituency, where there was a polling center actually inside a building. It took a lot of effort to then have the material come outside in the full glare of the public. We have this situation here involving Mavis HAWA KOOMSON, where we're told there was some alleged pepper spray involved. So it's been more than 1, 2, 3, even 4 instances. We were told, my colleague Stanley Niblo, and he was speaking to us also in Odoko, he said there was an incident involving some members of the NDC, some motorcycles, he alleges, were causing some fracas there with the police. So it's not even 1 p.m. and we have a litany of infractions, a litany of issues to contend with. Is that not enough basis for us to say things are not going well?
Well, I still maintain my position that is not enough basis. On the basis of the fact that, you see, what is happening at Ablekuma North is election. I mean, it is not, excuse me to say, war. It is not a chaotic situation where we're expecting one faction to fight the other faction. For the fact that it's an election, we have certain rules and procedure that we need to all follow to ensure and encourage that people exercise their franchise. And that is why I am of that view. I continue on that view because also of the fact that, you see, I'm just coming from the ground. I have gone round some of the polling stations from morning before driving here to partake in this exercise. And it's been generally peaceful at, most of the places we have attended. It's very unfortunate. Even if it is half an incident, it's still an incident that we would not love to encourage in our democratic exercise. If we want to continue to be the beacon of democracy on the continent, we will not allow all these things. But it brings to question the issues that have unfolded some time back. I remember in the Awaso West Wagon incident, where the young men who were shot were accused of not being in that constituency and what were they looking for at that constituency. And today it is obvious that people come to buy elections from different constituencies in order to help the candidate they support and to ensure the candidate wins. Right. So that has muted the previous argument of the Awaso West Wagon victims. For me, that is an issue we should look at very well and ensure that moving forward, party executives and all officials, EC officials, everybody must ensure that we do or conduct such exercises in a manner that would encourage people to come out to vote. Because this whole exercise will be an exercise in futility if, as a result of this chaos, people refuse to come out to exercise their franchise. That's right. And at the end of the day, it will be a work in equity to achieve vanity, which we don't want to get to that level. I would continue to insist and talk to the police. Since experts have issues with the police, I would also love to see the police react quickly to ensure peace prevails, and then the exercise continues.
Certainly. Mohammed, thank you for your thoughts there.
It's so interesting,
Mr. Kuti, what's going on today? It's Helen.
Helen, sorry. It's so interesting, right?
The coffee didn't come.
The coffee didn't come.
I see that.
Yes. You see, it's so interesting how politicians have the appetite to defend state security institutions when they are in power. Look, some few months ago last year, NDC saw everything wrong with the operations of the police, right? we have been in studios like this discussing some of these things.
Because they were true also.
Today, the table have turned. Everything about the security agencies is okay.
Well, is
But
that
let me
really what
ask,
they're saying, Mr. Kuti?
It means that there is an underlying problem about the true independence of our security institutions. And it goes to the fore of what we've been talking about, the politicization of our security institution. How come that macho men can empower the police, kick an innocent woman in the ground, and are able to leave the scene without any arrest as we speak now? I'm sure the police, if they were on top of their duty to keep Ghanaians and the entire system and processes and reassure us that the situation has been normalized, they should have released something to indicate the affected from arrest, correct?
Yes.
The police officer they interdicted, to me, is cosmetic. How many police officers haven't they interdicted in this country and what has come out of it?
You say it'll come to naught.
It's cosmetic to me. So I think that seriously as a country, the foundation of our democracy is shaking and we need to look at it.
Dr. Norman,
Yes.
thank you for that.
I mean, if I would react to his position.
In about a minute for me, please.
Yeah. I still stand by the fact that it will be unfair for the police institution that has, assembled over 1,000 people to 19 polling stations where each polling station about.
It's not about the numbers.
People. No.
It's about the strategy. Numbers don't do anything. With these numbers, look at what is happening.
If you allow me to speak,
it's not about the numbers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But for you to round up at a conclusion that when a party is in power, it tends to support the activities of security, the state security, is also not entirely correct. I mean, even in my presentation now, I insist that the police should also lift up the game, especially when people who have eyes to see issues of security are raising questions. I expect the police to also lift up the game. My position remains that, look, the whole point is to exercise franchise, to enable people come out freely to vote clearly who they want to lead them.
Do you see that? Do you see?
Into we a and some who team course watching on you some loss so what Jimbre ever had a sense of body and the Addo Běǎteň only essential na yam for the change and science.